YouTube and Serious and Silliness subscribers, we got a special guest today, and she is a world-class, world champion arm wrestler, Lisa Wolfley. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really glad that you did this because I don't know, arm wrestling is becoming somewhat of a fascination for me. I'm just going down this rabbit hole, and I'm getting great people like yourself to come on and talk about it. So I'm excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So I've heard you're making a comeback.
Yeah, and yes, I am actually. It's been about 5 years since I've arm wrestled competitively at a world level. Had some negative things happen to me, and I just had to mourn, take the time, and regroup. And here I am. I lived through everything I went through, and I feel strong. I feel good. I feel so strong.
Good. Good. Well, that's what happens when you get through tough times. You become tough on the other end. If you don't, then you're a weak person, and you are too strong for that. So we're good. So why don't you tell us about the comeback? What made you do the comeback, and where are you going to be having this comeback?
Well, after everything that's gone on these last few years and COVID, been kind of in a funk and kind of depressed, gained some weight. And I was just looking for something to motivate me, to inspire me to, get up, go to the gym and, get strong again. And then I got the phone call from Simon. He invited me to be on Team USA, and I took 24 hours to think about it, and I said, you know what, this is it. Someone told me a long time ago when I wanted to quit arm wrestling, I had a bad day, and she said, Lisa, you will always be an arm wrestler. You may take some time off, but you'll always come back. And I didn't believe her. But she was absolutely right. So yeah, once an arm wrestler, always an arm wrestler.
You can't change who you are. That's embedded in you. You can't change who you are.
It's an incredible passion I've had since grade school. So yeah, it was that call from Simon. He invited me, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And so the very next day, at the gym, working out, lots of cardio to take off the 20 pounds.
So who is Simon?
Simon is the USA team captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the league that you'll be arm wrestling in?
WAF.
And their world tournament is going to be held where this year?
September 17th. It starts and ends the 25th.
Mm-hmm. Where is it going to be?
Oh, it's in Batumi, Georgia.
Okay.
Let's see.
Which is what, like Eastern Europe, right?
Yeah, so it's right above Turkey, I believe, if my geography is correct.
All right, very cool, very cool. So are you gonna do any tune-up matches or anything like that, or are you just going right for the gold?
No, I'm going to. Well, yes, I am going to do some matches. There's the USAA tournament. It's August 15th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, August 15th in Reno. So I'm going to head to that one. Mm-hmm. There is one next weekend. I'm hoping I can go, but I think I have family in town. That one's in Arizona.
Okay.
I have arm wrestling practice tonight at 6. So that happens every Saturday. So I'll train a little bit differently at practice than I used to train if I'm not competing in a world tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you take us through how you got involved in arm wrestling? Because I said this to Michelle, I said this to Nancy, I said this to Marlon. I said, if a girl wants to go to be a bodybuilder or be into fitness, she goes to the gym. She joins the gym. She hires a coach. Same thing with powerlifting. She goes to a powerlifting gym. She hires a coach. There's no place where you can just go and be an arm wrestler. So how did you fall into it?
Well, actually, I thought everybody arm wrestled in grade school. That's just what I thought. But more and more, I realized that other people they didn't arm wrestle in grade school, but I did. So I arm wrestled. I arm wrestled the boys before they went to puberty and had growth spurt, and I beat them all. And by the time they were, out of puberty, I was still beating them. And
Right.
so that happened at recess and lunches. I was very competitive with the boys in every sport. In fact, I was one of the first kids that were chosen for teams because they knew
You're very athletic.
Was the badass, yeah.
Okay, so you're a natural athlete, and
Yeah.
arm wrestling was what you gravitated to.
Absolutely. And then I just held on to that. It was a lot of fun. I had 3 older brothers that had a lot of testosterone that, I always competed with them in many different aspects of life. So as I grew older, I played fast pitch softball. So I was the pitch.
Oh, very cool.
For 10 years. And so
let me ask you this. If you had 3 older brothers that were very, very rough and testosterone driven and athletic, it must have been very difficult for you to have a boyfriend as a kid.
Oh, let me tell you. So my mother died when I was 2. So it was my dad raising 5 kids.
Right.
And my dad was one of those, he was a bully. He was really big. He was just a bully. And so I grew up seeing, his personality, and my brothers, they're not so bullyish, but
very masculine.
But they can kick some ass, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Very masculine man. Yeah. And I apologize to hear about your mom.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, that's all I knew at that time. Is, competing with the men.
So how did you wind up in your first tournament?
Let's see. So I was married at that time, and I actually heard about this tournament. It was the Utah State Fair, and it was the Utah State Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't think that there was a thing, an arm wrestling tournament. I didn't know that there was a whole world of arm wrestling. And so I went to that tournament, and, I just plowed through everybody. And the tournament director asked me, where did you come from? And anyways, long story short, he took me under his wing and trained me, showed me some technique. Because at that point, I had no technique. I was just plowing through them with pure strength.
Right.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. The grand prize was a trip to San Diego.
Uh-huh. So and how old were you then?
I was 19 years old.
Okay. So you won the whole thing at San Diego, or?
No, that was just the prize. So.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, San Diego for.
That's pretty cool. So
yeah, that was cool.
Here's an interesting question, and I wish I would have asked this to Mike Aiello, because he had the same kind of situation as an amateur. He said he just plowed through everybody. He just ripped through everybody until he became pro. When you win so much and you expect to win so much, what's it like dealing with your first loss?
It's very frustrating. I remember my first loss in Petaluma, California, to Dot Anderson, and a lot of arm wrestlers out there will know who she is. I was so upset with myself, so frustrated, although she was, bigger than I was. I went into the bathroom and I hit that bathroom wall. I was so upset.
Yeah.
That was my first loss. I mean, now, if I lose, I have a big grin on my face. It's when Michelle Dugan beat me, she worked her butt off to beat. She trained hard. She had trainers. I mean, she really worked hard to beat me. And we always hug each other afterwards.
Michelle Dugan, no joke. Right. You lose to her, it's really no big deal. It's almost like, it's kind of like losing to Mike Tyson in a boxing match. It's like, okay. It's really, it's like there's really no there's no shame in it. Yeah, it's her, and right now the two top in the country are her and Angie Rose, right?
Absolutely, yeah. She finally beat me too after, yeah. That was, I think she was striving to beat me since I beat her in Hollywood. But she has a great trainer, and she's a power couple. She's with Ron Bath now, and he is world class.
Yeah, one of the best, if I want to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So both of them together, and they're just a power couple.
Right.
Wherever they just take the whole tournament.
So do you have your sights set on Michelle and Angie after you win this world? Like I gotta get back. I gotta get them back.
I do. I do have.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I definitely need a lot more training. Maybe I need to find me a coach myself. Will teach me how to beat them. But yeah. So
rivalries are great as long as it's like classy and done well. It draws a lot of attention,
right.
and great athletes know that.
Right. And if you put all of us together, including some of the other wonderful Canadian arm wrestlers, Nancy, we're all really classy ladies.
Yeah, I absolutely. Every person I've spoken to, and every person I've interviewed, Michelle, you, Malin, Gabby, really tremendous people, very classy and very, you're competitive, but you're compassionate at the same time. You're able to, well, I think this goes for the arm wrestling community in general. Generally speaking, you're able to kind of put your differences aside and help each other out when it comes to the sport and promoting the sport, which I find really valuable in a sport, because most people that are champions in their sport, if you want any information from them or you want them to teach you, oh, you better have your checkbook ready, because that's the only way it's coming, But so where are you training now?
Well, I train here in Las Vegas with the Las Vegas team. I'm going to try to get to California and train with some of the girls and the guys out there. Bosgen, he was one of my trainers in California. He's absolutely amazing. I learned a lot from him. I'm going to head out there a couple of times before September 17th. I'm going to San Francisco the 21st of August to go train with a gentleman named Paul Cohen, and hopefully Nancy Locke at that time as well.
Oh, okay, great. Nancy is a phenom, because she is a phenom because she doesn't look, and she even says it, and she said it in my interview. When you look at somebody like yourself that's very fit and has some muscle, and somebody like Michelle, or you go, oh, okay, these girls are strong. When you look at Nancy, you go, God, she looks so thin. And then she rips your arm off. It's unbelievable.
That passion, man. She's got that amazing passion that
I watched one WAL where she arm wrestled Valerie Beach. And I don't know Valerie. I never met her, never interviewed her or anything like that. But it was like Valerie won the first, and then it was like I saw like Nancy go back and I guess speak to her husband, and she kind of like something clicked. It was like, okay, I know what I did wrong there. And then that was it. Like Valerie had no chance after that. And so much so that she was kind of toying with her. Like, I don't know if you saw it. She held her there, and she was like, bow. And I think the last one, she just smacked her arm down like 3 times. Like, yeah, bitch, I got you.
I know, that was wonderful to watch.
Yeah. It's a show, but it was pretty interesting. So I want to ask you 2 questions, not pertaining to you, but pertaining to arm wrestling. Did you watch the Devin Larratt, Michael Todd in Dubai?
Yes, I did. I watched so many of their matches.
What did you think that happened that last time in Dubai? Because it looked very, very. Michael Todd didn't look like himself.
I can't tell you what happened, but when you get those super heavyweights together, you just never know if what they're going to pull. Michael Todd has so many techniques and skills, and Yeah, I mean, you just never know what he's going to do.
Yeah, not taking anything away from Devin Larratt, but when you watch their previous arm wrestling super matches, I mean, it's usually very close. It's usually really, really close. And when I watched it, and I was like, all right, I don't know. He doesn't look the same. He kind of didn't look. It was so one sided. I was like, is he hurt? Does he have any physical damage? Like that's how and I mean, and to his credit, he took the loss like a true champion. He was just like, he was the better man that night, and that was it. And then he went back to, now I understand he's sick. He has COVID. I hope he, gets better well.
Yeah, me too.
But today is, what's today's date? The 31st?
Yes.
Today is the big one, right? With John Brzenk and what's his name? Shaw?
Sure. Yeah, I've never met Shaw. John Brzezink's from Utah. And back in the day, I trained with his group when I first started training him.
Oh, that's cool.
Kevin Bongard and some of the other guys up there in Salt Lake City that I missed so much. But yeah, John Brzenk has been in and out of retirement as well. And
sounds familiar, doesn't it?
take some time off, hang out with the grandkids, whatever.
So what do you think is going to happen with that one?
I haven't even really seen Shaw. I've only heard about him, but I've heard he's just phenomenal. He's like you said with Nancy, I heard that his dad was a power lifter. And so he's got that kind of skill and that kind of strength.
Yeah, he's got the genetics, right?
Genetics, yeah. But I mean, he completely focused on arm wrestling for a time period, and I mean, he's so young. What is he? 21?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know he is. He does look really young.
Yeah. So, but I'm still going with John Brzenk because he's the man.
Kind of hard to pick against them, right?
Yeah, and when you talk about world class, this man is the best in the world.
Right.
Had for decades.
Right.
There isn't anybody better than John. So,
yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah, so I think John's gonna, use his strategic skills and take over his hand, pull him down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out. If I don't think I'm gonna check it. I think I'm gonna check the live stream out and see what it's like. I hope it's a good production. Sometimes you watch an arm wrestling event, and it's like, it's kind of a weak production. But then sometimes you watch it, and it's like really good. Like WAL really knows how to put on a good production.
Right.
And it makes you want to watch more and more and more. Every time I watch one, I'm like, oh, let me go. Like I've watched plenty of them.
Yeah.
So okay, so what are the dates for the when you bring back the gold?
September 17th through the 25th is when I'll bring back the gold.
Okay, and is it going to be live streamed, or is it going to be on ESPN or anything like that? Or you don't know yet.
No, it won't. I don't think it's going to be on. Well, it's not going to be on ESPN, and it won't be live streamed. But we'll definitely take video.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be footage. I guarantee there'll be footage on YouTube. Absolutely, there'll be footage. And
yeah.
And so, okay, much love, much respect. And
yeah, I wanted to show you something.
Go ahead. What's up?
So this is Thor.
Oh, check that out. Okay.
So this is what I work with while I'm watching TV or even taking the dogs for a walk. I'm doing my wrist curls with them, and yeah. So
who made that for you? Because you must know a plumber or a welder or something.
Michelle Smart's husband. She's an arm wrestler in Utah as well. She made this for me, and or her husband made it for me, and yeah, I'll never let him go.
All right, that's great. That's great. Good. Listen, Lisa, really good luck to you, and I wish you the best, and I hope you do very well. I know you're going to do very well, so that goes without saying, because you have the drive, you have the skill, you're just going to do well. And what?
The passion.
And the passion. Yes, absolutely.